I
All
have my
right.
headset on so I can hear you perfectly.
No worries. You're good. I'm going to go ahead and get us started and we'll just muscle through, okay?
All right.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boxed Lunch here at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center. We are so very grateful to all of you folks for joining us out there. We hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We have a very, very special treat today, a true multitasker and artist in his own right. The one and only Julian Johnson is here with us today. How are you doing today, Julian?
Not too bad.
Nice. Well, we are so grateful to you joining us and multitasking through the Boxed Lunch interview. I have to say, I am so impressed. Ladies and gentlemen, Julian is on his work shift today and still found time to come and join us for a Boxed Lunch interview to tell us how he's doing. Julian, it looks like you're already slinging drinks. How's your Monday going so far?
Solid start. Everything is going pretty good. Got my project set up and ready to go.
Nice. I gotta hand it to you. Most people have been creating their lunch, and it looks like you are creating lunch for others. So I'm just so impressed that you're able to multitask that way. I have a hard enough time just cooking lunch for myself, and here you are. I am just so grateful that you were able to take the time and join us today. So I'm going to test your skills here while you're serving and taking care of all those people there. Are you able to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and what it is you do?
Well, my name is Julian Johnson. I am from Fort Worth. I am an artist of 2 years now. Just started painting, learning everything brand new, and I'm also a bartender in Dallas at a bar called Ebb and Flow.
Very nice. And it looks like you're working hard. How do you find time to come up with plenty of opportunity to create artistically and then still manage to hold a day job and pay the bills?
Well, with my day job, I am only working 1 day a week now because of COVID. We have to share shift with other employees from another venue, which is fine with me. But for the most part, business has been picking up ever since I did this mural in Fort Worth. And I feel like that was an opportunity for me to grow as an artist because that was my first time doing it, but it was also a good learning experience. I was a little nervous at first, I'll admit that, but it didn't take me away from what I had to do. Very grateful for the opportunity as well, and grateful for what's coming, because I have a lot more to come.
Absolutely. Well, we're very, very excited for you. And do you mind just taking a minute and telling us a little bit about how you were approached and came to paint the mural? And this is the Atatiana Jefferson mural on Southside. Is that correct?
Correct. Off of Evans and Allen.
Evans and Allen. And so were you approached for this, or did you seek out the opportunity for the mural?
So, funny story. I got some amazing friends that support me in my artwork, and there was a post talking about we need a mural, a black muralist for the Atatiana Jefferson mural, and I had like 5 or 6 friends tag me on one post. I couldn't be more grateful, I'm not gonna lie to you. Didn't see it coming, but it was all the more opportunity for me to get started on this journey and learn something new. So I'm grateful for all of my friends out there that actually supported my work and gave me a shot to do this.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like an incredible opportunity. And you said you've only been painting for a couple of years. I think 2018 you said you started. Were you artistically engaged in murals or the painting form prior to that? Or did you literally start in 2018?
Literally started in 2018.
And what was your motivation? What inspired you to pick it up and start creating art?
It's like 1:30ish. So let me get my natural. Just get water.
Oh, I already got them started on drinks. They're made. Yeah, give me 1 second.
No worries. While you're wrapping that up, I'll go ahead and inform you about what I've got planned for lunch. Today, I'm going forward with a very basic soup and sandwich. So I'll be making a turkey sandwich as well as some fabulous Campbell's soup. So I'll start on that and let you finish up this order. And you just give me a thumbs up and I'll re-ask that last question and we'll just keep moving forward with the interview, okay?
Yes, sir. Let me get this started.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good old-fashioned Campbell's Chunky grilled chicken and sausage gumbo. I'm going to open that up. People make fun of me when I just heat up the goods, and it just makes it a little easier for me to spend some time with the interview here. So we'll just turn that on high. I've got my turkey meat as well as my tomatoes and lettuce, little mayo, and then some sourdough bread. So I'll just get that prepped. Julian, how you coming there?
Early order.
Yeah.
Step on the stairs.
I'm just trying to make sure I catch them.
Up on the phone because it's time for 1:30.
All right. And the orders are put in, chicken salami and California. And their drinks are made already. Their drinks are made.
There is a consummate professional for you, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Getting it done.
Not too bad.
Not at all. So, Julian, I was just asking, where did your inspiration come from to start painting?
So, funny story. I was drawing in 2017. I went back and I looked at some of my old pictures, and I started drawing again at like 3 years ago. And there used to be a book club, a musical book club that would be out in Deep Ellum. They've advanced to a bigger venue now, and they have an artist there. So I went there one time and I drew this like really, really big picture. I sketched it up in like 2 days. And when I went up there, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what to expect. And the artist, he had literally the exact same idea as me. We just did it with 2 different variations. And it kind of threw me off because I was like, wait a minute, you can't have my idea, or you can't think like me. This ain't fair. I mean, I was joking with him, but he was pretty cool about it. And his name is Joshua Ellis. He's one of the artists that I look up to, as well as other artists from around the Dallas area, like Blue the Great. That's a lot to name. But those are the 2 that I actually look up to the most because they gave me inspiration as I started painting. Joshua, he gave me an idea. He said, why don't you just take a chance to start painting? Your drawings are really good. So transfer it to painting. And if you're worried about it looking like your work when you draw, that'll come with time. So I gave it a shot. And literally a year later, I'm painting next to him in an art show.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible. So are murals all you try to focus on, or do you do painting as well with just a practical normal palette as well, like 8x10s, or are you most comfortable outside painting the murals, the larger scale pictures and things?
So I'm still learning murals. So I'm still learning the aspects because I got to change from a paintbrush to a spray can. But for the most part, I don't have a preference. I like the challenge. I look at art as a challenge to keep me mentally sane. So it's like, what can I do next? How can I mix up an idea? How can I mash up something? Because I'm still in a phase where I'm gonna eventually have my own like ideas. And what I mean by that is, you know, you have your artists that have like something about them that you can tell like that's that artist. Some artists paint with no face. Some artists paint with a different face. Some artists does this and that. I'm still in that phase of learning where I'm gonna go to. But in the process, I like painting on canvas. It's what I prefer to do. Bigger canvas at that. So 16 by 20 is what I normally paint on. That's the smallest I'm always paint on. And I've painted up to 5-foot canvases.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to painting on 6 and 7-foot, 10-foot canvases. I've even seen, I worked at the Cowboy Stadium, and I even seen how they had like these giant, like 20 and 30-foot wooden panels. And yeah, I want to crack at that one day. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Very nice. So I'm curious, there's been a lot of debate in the art world about the difference between what's considered graffiti and what's considered a mural on an exterior building or in locations. What are your thoughts on that? Is there a difference between graffiti and a mural? And what do you see those differences being?
I don't know. Well, you probably wouldn't be able to see it from my distance, but I'm looking at a mural right now. And the difference for me from that and graffiti is a style of lettering. It's like skywriting at night. You see it and it catches your eye like immediately. There's always a type for it. There's always a way for it to be seen in any which direction you come from. But a mural brings life on a larger scale. So like there are ways where you can paint a picture on a particular building and it's going to give that building 10 times more life than what it would without it. Because now you have a culture, now you have flavor to it. A mural brings life to a lot of aspects of wherever you painted it. Like painting the Tatiana Jefferson brought life to her. And it brought life to her for the city. So for some things, it immortalizes. In other instances, it shows the true talent of the artist that's creating the mural. Graffiti is also a way to get up to doing murals, because with graffiti is basically a practice. The better you get at it, there's unimaginable of ways to do it. And I've seen some graffiti works where I still can't believe how they did it. They're in locations unreachable. They're in locations where you just don't even think to look at. And a lot of graffiti, you're gonna find like hidden gems, alleyways, cracks, crevices, all kinds of places. So I mean, I like graffiti because it's a form of art where it's a practice to make an artist better using spray paint most of the time. So that's normally where you're gonna see graffiti coming from. But it does build up to the point to where now you're gonna start making faces and landscapes with the same spray paint.
Wow. Yeah, it's just so interesting to me. Who are some of your inspirations artistically? Do you have people that you look up for or look up to or inspired you? Or is all of this really just kind of coming from yourself?
I'm self-taught. I find motivation with people that's better than what I do now. Because I always challenge myself to be better than them. So I see the best of the best of the best of whatever medium I'm challenging myself to. So when I was doing pencil work, I found the best pencil artists. Now that I'm doing, when I started doing acrylic work, I found the best acrylic artists. Now that I'm on oils, I'm always looking at the best oil artists. So it gives me motivation. And one of my favorite ones to look at is Fabiano Milani. He's a European style. I think he's from Spain, maybe. I don't know. I need to make sure I get that fact right. But he's European, and for sure, like this guy, he can paint photorealism. And there are artists out there. There's a girl, Heather. I think her Instagram is Heather Tuluni or something like that. She's a pencil artist that does photorealism. And when I tell you these people are just, they're in another realm. You good?
Yeah, I think you're still with me. Looks like we dropped off for a second, but I think we're all still good. So there you are. All right, we'll just keep moving through. Don't even worry about it.
Okay, cool. But yeah, those are my inspirations. I look at them and I try to see where I'm gonna be at.
Julian, how's the pandemic affected you personally and artistically?
Personally, I lost a lot of relationships, friendships, business, my jobs, everything. But for my art, it picked up, ironically. So my side job became my main job. So now I'm not just doing art on the side. I do it on my own schedule whenever I want to, but it's pretty much almost 7 days a week.
Nice. It's a great way to place those energies. And I just tell you from my own personal point of view, it's amazing how things shift. You say you lost friends. Is that just because of contact itself? Were there disagreements in viewpoints of the pandemic? Why did the friendships go away?
I try to keep it as simple with friendships, but it was more than that. I lost it because like I said, I lost my jobs, and some people don't see, they didn't really see how it affected everybody. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I just look at it as like, it is what it is. I understand, I understood, and I'm still learning from it. So I'm not trying to let the pandemic take over my life. I'm actually trying to make it better. So I've had better opportunities to become a different person, and now my art is taking the challenge of becoming my career. And I mean, I wanted this to happen. I didn't want it to happen during a pandemic, but I mean, if this is the way it's gonna happen, then hey, I'm taking full advantage of it, and I'm not stopping here. I got to keep going. People are starting to actually notice what I do, and give me a chance to do more. So, I mean, I can't really think about what has happened. I have to look at what happens next.
I think honestly that's a great attitude to have, and to embrace the challenges that are put before us and try to make some good out of it. I think is the only way to proceed forward. And not only do we not need to look back in our past, I think there's some truth there emotionally as well, and using that to grow us forward as artists, and continue to engage with those challenges, and not only make our art better, but also our hearts and minds stronger as well. So it's very encouraging to hear you say that, and looking forward rather than back. I think it's something that more of us need to do, and we'll probably all benefit from it if we were able to let some of that stuff go, for sure. So it's great to hear that you're moving through that way. Julian, how do you see the arts adapting with a lot of the limitations that are happening in terms of spaces and being inside? Where do you see the arts going with this, specifically painting, and not just that, but just in general?
So I think, along with myself, a lot of artists have learned to utilize like different forms of camera work. Like, I feel like every painter right now is some way, somehow utilizing the camera way more than they intended to. Sometimes you just take pictures of your work. For me, it was just taking a picture of my finished product. Now I record the whole process. I mean, I kind of have the time to do that. So from beginning to end, I record exactly how I start my painting, the outline, all the way to finish. Then I'll show you a finished product. And for some reason, a lot of people are more attracted to that. They like to see the whole process. They like to see, okay, how did he do this? or how did that picture come about, or how did he blend that color? So I learned how to time lapse it a lot better, and sometimes I paint pictures faster than I intend to, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but the process is all the same, and I enjoy every bit of it. And it gives me pleasure to like share that process with other people so they can see what us as artists, what we go through.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see me in my videos, you'll see me like, I'll paint, then I'll stop, then I'll be on my phone trying to do something, or I might even catch a nap in the video. So, I mean, you just see the whole process, the ups and the downs of actually completing the work, and it's a lot, especially for people that want to paint, that want to learn how to do this. And I don't never tell anybody that you can't paint or you can't draw. Like, I know it sounds crazy, I know that sounds impossible, but that's not what it is. It's really just a mental stimulation for me. I taught myself how to paint. I wouldn't mind teaching somebody else how to do the same thing. It's all in a matter of, can you just visualize with a steady hand? At the end of the day, that's what it really is. And I don't have a steady hand. So I just learned how to work around that.
It sounds like it might just simply become your style as well. So I'm curious, from transferring to more of a day job to a full-time artist, do you set time aside to paint? Do you paint from 9 to 5? Do you paint when the inspiration comes to you? Have you found that daytime's more productive than nighttime? How do you go about your process as a painter now?
A little bit of both. I find my inspiration comes in the middle of the night. I don't know why. And it's not that I'm a night owl or something. It's just some days I want to accomplish what I normally like to accomplish, because I do like to work out. I'm a gym rat. I like going to the lake or something like that, or just something with scenery. But I feel like sometimes there's never enough time in one day, especially when you add the travel with that time. So middle of the night for me, I normally paint in the middle of the night. That's when I accomplish some of my best works, depending on if I have a schedule or not. But yeah, that's when I accomplish most of my best work.
Nice. It's always interesting to me when the muse strikes. And so I love to ask that question and see how people go about bottling that inspiration and actually putting it on the page. I know a lot of artists talk about a lot of ideas, and to me, that really is what separates us, is when you're actually able to practically finish it, get it on the page or get it on a palette, and actually produce the art that is tends to swirl around so much in our heads. So
yeah, that's it. That is a hard part, I'll admit, especially when it comes to commissions. Commissions are like, it feels like a job, but if the customer is willing to work with you, because sometimes customers don't understand, like, things happen or obstacles may come in our way, but if they're willing to work with us, we're always going to give them our best.
Nice.
Whether it be me or somebody else, we're always going to give the customer our best, because they trusted us with their time as well as ours. Because as an artist, like, we mentally go through a battlefield almost every day, alone from every other painting we do. So I just appreciate the customers that I've had up to this point, because they've all been patient with me. If they didn't like something, they'll give me a chance to like fix it, and that rarely happens.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I mean, at this point, I'm just grateful.
Yeah. Now I'm curious about some of the specifics about the Tatiana Jefferson mural. What paint components did you use? How did you go about painting this particular piece? And I'm also curious about, what were you trying to say artistically with this particular mural?
I started off with paint in a can, paint buckets. It was a lot of trial and error. I ended up finishing it off with some spray paint. I still feel like I can improve it some more, but that's just me as an artist. I never put the paintbrush down, is what they say. My inspiration for choosing that particular image was for her to kind of have a view of the city, because I didn't want to have to paint somebody as another memorabilia, but that's just the way it is now.
Yeah.
And it sucks that we have to bring light to it like this, but at the same time, my goal was accomplished when we had Eugene have his march for reform, and he passed by, and I just seen everybody coming down Evans, and they could see it like from blocks away, and I almost broke down, because that was my goal. I want people to see it from a distance. They hit a corner, or they turn into the street, or from Allen coming off the freeway, or from Evans coming from the north side, and you can see it. And for me, that was my biggest inspiration for myself, because then I understood at that moment, this means more than just me as an artist. This meant a lot to the city. So as an artist, I always want to improve what I'm doing, especially as spray painting, so I can give more of that to the city.
Absolutely. It's just so inspiring and encouraging. I feel oftentimes artists have a tendency to be somewhat selfish with their ideas and their views, and it's just so encouraging to see work that is supporting more than just the artist, and sharing those ideas. I'm curious. Do you see empowerment in your art, and be able to vocalize ideas and thoughts and feelings? I know that race has become such an issue these days, and such a divisive discussion that people don't seem to be as open to discuss. Have you found that art empowers you to have a voice?
Yeah, and it kind of happened. It kind of just happened. It wasn't my plan. I didn't know if my art could be something to speak without me saying words, and it just kind of happened that way, because I didn't want to be somebody trying to march and protest and all of this and that, because I didn't feel like it was going to do much. And I mean, we still have protests. Sometimes we still have marches, but I wanted my work to be beyond that. I want my work to be something where people can see it day after day after day. And it's also a constant reminder to the cause day after day after day. That way, every time you bring it up, like, oh, I have this image I can look at now. That's always a constant reminder of why this happened, or why this shouldn't happen, or why this continuously happen. And like, I'm not even gonna be honest with you. It really just happened out of nowhere, and I couldn't be more thankful for it.
It's just amazing. You know, they say lightning strikes are so few and far between, and it's just so encouraging to hear that art has given you direction and a purpose. Do you find it easier to speak your ideas artistically than you do just having a conversation with a friend or a colleague?
Yeah, because I do like to vent, but I feel like my best ways to vent is through my work, because people start to see like who I really am. Like, I'm not stereotyped at all. I'm not what I appear to be. And sometimes I'm not even what you think I could be, especially after you hear me talk for a while. But once you see my work, then you really get to see who I am, like 100%. Because then you see that I'm selfless. I don't really try to be selfish with a lot of things. Like, I barely have any of my artwork with me now, because I pretty much almost sold it or gave it away. So, and I mean, I don't really ask for a lot. Like, a lot of people would think that a Tatiana project, like that wasn't a paid project, and I was so grateful to do it, because I tell people, and like I told, when I even told a news station, like, it wasn't about the money. It's not even about recognition. It's about her. So that's why I did it. I always try to find purpose in things that I do. I don't just try to find self-gain. A lot of times for me, it's not about self-gain. Completing the work is self-gain for me.
Nice. Now, you talked a little bit about being a gym rat. what are some of the other things that you do to stay sane mentally and physically in the midst of a pandemic?
Well, this is definitely one of them. Every time I get a chance to, I'm on the road, just riding around. Other than going to the gym, I like to go to the lake and just kind of like clear my head. When I do get the absolute, like just the time to actually do it, I like to take my dog out to the park because he's still growing. He's a puppy, but everybody, they get nervous about him when they see him. So I try to show him more of the neighborhood, more people, more neighbors' dogs, so he can still be accustomed to it. That way, when he gets bigger and when he's full grown, nobody's really alarmed. And he's not really gonna have to feel like he has to protect me from those particular people. But other than that, it's really just as simple as me going to the gym, walking my dog, and riding my bike. Maybe a few video games every now and then, but I don't really have time to even play that. I realize sometimes, like, I'll play a video game for like an hour a week, and that's it. That's all I have time for.
Very nice. Yeah, it sounds like you certainly keep yourself busy for sure. So, Julian, what sort of resources in the community are you personally seeing or using? And do you have any resource information for other struggling artists that is out there that you yourself may have used or know about being available to artists out there?
As far as my supplies?
Or even just support systems that have been out there for artists during the pandemic.
Facebook art groups are going to be the biggest. I am a part of a few of them. You don't have to find any organizations. You don't have to find any of these things. They're always going to be on Facebook or Instagram to find. So, like some of the art shows I'm a part of, it's an organization. Dallas artists. There's a lot of Dallas art groups. There's a lot of Fort Worth art groups, and there are also a lot of DFW artists. And for one thing I can give the other artists is that those are going to be your hidden gems as far as finding work, and they're always going to expand you. They can come straight to me if they would like to. Coming straight to me if they need help, if they want to find other ways to promote their work, or if they feel like I can help promote their work. I mean, I'll do the best I can. But if that simplifies it all, I mean, they can come through me and I'll direct them to the right person or to the right people. That way that they can have their chance and they can have opportunities as well, because I don't discriminate against no one.
Very nice, very nice. So Julian, I want you to tell me again, where is your Tatiana Jefferson mural located at?
It is off of Evans and Allen. The corner of Evans and Allen in Fort Worth, Texas. It's going to be right by the hospital across the freeway. There's going to be a Shell gas station off the exit of Allen. Make a right. Evans is going to be the first street, and you can't miss it. She's definitely going to be looking at you.
Nice, very nice. And so here's probably the most important question of the whole entire interview. How and where can we find you, keep up with your work, and reach out if anybody has any interest in contacting you?
Following me on my Facebook, Julian Johnson. I'm going to try my best to keep my friends to a level to where I can accept more friends. But following me is definitely going to be the best way right now on Facebook. On Instagram, it's going to be Black Marty McFly, at Black Marty McFly, literally spelled as is. And you'll see a picture of me. And Instagram is going to be where you just literally see all of my artwork from top to bottom. You might see a few adventures every now and then, but mostly it's going to be my artwork. That's the best way to get in contact with me. And if you need to reach me through beyond those means for commissions or anything beyond that, just send me a message. I'll get back to you within a few hours or less than a day for sure.
Very nice, very nice. We'll make sure and get some links up also on the Facebook page. And if there's anything that you want to share with us, make sure you come back and drop those in the comment lines as well too, Julian, so we can get that information out there. So now you said you've got some other projects coming up. Are you allowed to talk about any of those? Do you have any breaking news for us? Or do we just need to follow you on Facebook and Instagram and wait for those things to appear?
Well, aside from the projects that I already have at hand with my commissions, what I'm currently working on is I have a little snippet for empowerment. It's gonna be it's the best way for me to call it, crown holders. I'll say that. And I'm also touching on realism painting. So once I get caught up on my commissions, my next couple of pieces are gonna be pretty close to real. I'm also looking into tattooing as well.
Oh, wow,
So
nice.
I do have a tattoo machine. I'm gradually here and there practicing, so that is going to be something I'll be taking full force and within the year. My goal is to be within my own realm in a year of tattoo, and that way I can pretty much quit my day job, but I don't think I want to quit this job. I love this place.
Well,
I
Julian,
actually like it.
Yeah, it has been an absolute inspiration and a pleasure to visit with you. I feel somewhat guilty for you not having a lunch today, but I'm going to cut the interview a little short so I can make sure that you get some of your lunchtime to actually go enjoy lunch. So I'm just going to give you a little peek at my soup and see if I can't work up your appetite. I'm sure that you've probably got your own plans for lunch as well. There's my little turkey sandwich. And I was curious if you had any words of wisdom to wrap up the interview for people out there, or just any general thoughts or information that you'd like to share with everybody.
What I can say is impossible is just a word. If you feel like it can happen, if you believe it can happen, chase after it. I took a leap of faith, and now I'm on interviews. But one thing I can tell people is no matter what's going on right now, don't let it take over your life and don't let it keep you in despair. There's always a way out, and there's always a way to be happy for yourself. Just keep going after it and stay on track. It's the hardest thing to do, but as long as you believe in it, that's the biggest thing that you ever have to worry about. If you don't believe in it, it can't happen for you. You have to believe in it.
True enough. We create our own realities. I am a big believer in that as well. And just some fabulous insight. And Julian, we wish you nothing but the best. I can't wait to see you grow as an artist, and certainly look forward to all of these wonderful things that are in front of you. So just very appreciative and grateful for you taking the time. Ladies and gentlemen, please go check out that mural. We'll put some links down in the comments to give you guys an idea how to find it. Make sure you follow Julian on Facebook and Instagram as well. Support your local artists. And Julian, I just can't thank you enough for joining us. Get inside. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy a little bit of your lunch break. And I'm just so appreciative of you taking the time today.
Thank you very much for everything. I can't thank you enough for this.
Absolutely, my pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another edition of Box Lunch. We will be back on Friday, so make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We've also got some great content over on YouTube as well. So enjoy your week, everybody. Be safe. Julian, take care of yourself, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bon appetit. We'll see you later.